Namaste, angels. Thank you for joining, liking, sharing, and subscribing. I hope that you're here with me watching the premiere. But welcome to all of you, old and new, and whether you're watching the premiere with me live and chatting it up or not. This is my second time recording a general weekly reading for you. At some point, I may post the original. But what I did is, since I was having some difficulty processing the original, what I did was I came back and I did what's almost an hour-long teaching video. So those of you who like that will hopefully enjoy that. And those of you who don't, lucky you, I'm going to do only the cards in this reading and not talk about all that stuff that I talked about over in the other video, which is some pretty heavy stuff. This week we have very likely affecting us, in addition to what we were already experiencing, which is repercussions from the Capricorn full moon and partial lunar eclipse and black moon, and also the black moon Lilith in Pisces transit. Now, added to that, we have not only those things, but also the regular typical July and August negative dark energy that comes around, that I've been pointing out over the years, that it's the same period of time or same periods of time. There are a couple of little pockets throughout a given year. This is definitely one of them. So on top of all that, this week also will be a lot of spiritual energy connected to all three of the major Abrahamic religions. So from Christianity is the Feast of the Transfiguration, and that is the event when Jesus was seen on the mountain in all his glory, just full divinity, completely illuminated, as in lighted, and he appeared with Moses and Elijah. So there were three of them on the mountain, and they were witnessed by three people, Saint Peter, and also the sons of thunder, the two brothers James and John, were the three witnesses. I'm pointing out that it was three because a lot of stuff this week has to do with 3, 8, 7, and 6. Oh, of course 11 also, which includes 1304 or 1111, or any other derivative of that. Master number 22 also, of course, is a 1304 or 1111. And those were the only numbers that came out basically in the original reading. That's probably something that the dark didn't want you to see. Like, every card I opened to was an 8. All of the 8s in the deck showed up, including Major Arcana card 8, Justice, with which I began actually. So today I'm not going to, or on this attempt, I won't be beginning with Justice. That's not what turned out. But I am beginning with some 8s. The 8 of water, or cups, a desire to move on, the search for something more meaningful, spiritual and emotional growth. Also the 8 of autumn, all about reaping what we've sown, 8 of Pentacles. It's the perfect time to learn all you can by returning to school, conducting a seminar, taking a seminar, or conducting some sort of research. Do your best work, and the law of attraction will bring you prosperity and career advancement. Now they're showing me the 9 also of winter, or swords, which is about worry, unnecessary worry. At that, when we basically give ourselves agita and anxiety for no reason. And with that, I'm using the hashtag creepy deck for the general reading, which I don't typically do. And we're going to begin with communication. With the original reading, we began with karma. So this is interesting in terms of a turn of events, that it's now communication, because karma fit perfectly. Why? Because 8 is a number that's all about karma, right? It's a very karmic number. So with the dice, we're going to begin with the dice with massage, buy shoes, and forget it. That's what I'm starting with. Spirit says, stay in bed. Eat cake, which I'm pretty sure turned up in the other reading too. If not this one, the love reading that I did. And try again. The love reading, which I may redo also, because the general reading that's still processing is processing ahead of the love reading. So I like have to wait for that general reading to be done before we even have the love reading. So I may just do it again. It says try again. So I think in some of aspects of our life where we have attempted something, maybe to move on from a situation or a relationship, a circumstance, we've attempted to move on, it didn't work the first time, definitely try again. Maybe in learning a new skill or experience or completing a karmic lesson, with again 8 being about karma, definitely try again. Speaking of karma, in that card, there it is. Isn't that funny? Where there have been maybe failed communication breakdowns, or you tried to get up the courage but you couldn't quite get it up to make communication, or to allow yourself to receive a communication, to answer the phone or respond to a text or something. Try again. And still doesn't work out, forget it. Now, forget it can also mean whatever was holding you back, whatever the fear-based emotion that was holding you back from doing it. Forget that too. Like, let go of the past is another thing forget it can mean. All right, so I'm going to start with the 8 of water. A desire to move on, the search for something more meaningful, spiritual, and emotional growth. And opening to the 2 of fire, which is an 11. I forgot about all the 2s that showed up. 2 of fire, 2 of cups. Very, very nice reading. You've come into your own. New partnerships or contracts. Continue to move forward. So again, this could be moving on in a relationship, moving on from a relationship, and doesn't have to be romantic, but it absolutely can be. 2 of fire, of course, the divine union card of the tarot, twin flame card of the tarot. It's also, the 2 is also a number of faith, and in terms of our manifestation, with the manifestation beginning with the 1, that thought, that idea, and then the 2 is where we have the faith that it's actually going to come to fruition. So again, maybe we in an attempt to move on or from something or move towards something, and the faith and belief in ourselves that we can do it is attached to this 2 here. And maybe it's something that we want to do in partnership with another person, whether it's a business, friendship, or romantic situation. We just got to have trust and faith that we can be successful. 8 of water. And speaking of manifestation and the beginnings, starting with 1, it is Major Arcana card 1, the Magician, which represents the sign of Gemini. You're ready. You have the resources or the ability to manifest them, and life is magical. Magician can also sometimes be about wearing a mask and keeping parts of yourself hidden or false. And I'm just getting that this 8 of water may be moving on from that. Something may have completed in terms of karma in that regard, and now you're shedding that. You're freeing yourself with the 8 of water. And Major Arcana card 7, the Chariot, which like I said, all the 7, 8, 7, all of them showed up. The Chariot showed up twice in the original reading. An important achievement, self-discipline and willpower, public recognition. Major Arcana card 7, the Chariot, represents the sign of Cancer. Again, the constellation in which Sirius, the star, sits. And it's a card of movement and perhaps moving on, similar to this Eight of Water. It's also a card of victory, you know, like it says here, achievement, public recognition even. Moving, like physically moving, not just moving on, but physically moving, like literally moving. Modes of transportation, planes, trains, automobiles. Travel. So we could be visiting people or revisiting situations, or deciding not to revisit situations anymore, to instead move on from them, forget it. Or moving up. If you're being recognized, it could be attached to promotion, and we're moving on in that sense to a new position at the job, or to a new job altogether, a new career. Chariot. And the Nine of Fire. Don't give up. Protect that which you've created. Have courage and believe in yourself. The Chariot. Yeah, this reading looks a lot like the other so far. Major Arcana card 12, which is a 3, Awakening, which is actually the Hangman in the traditional tarot, all about, you know, feeling like you're in a place of limbo, sort of stuck, an air of suspension. You don't know which direction to move or how to move, because you're sort of like waiting for something else to happen first in order to like motivate or activate you in the situation. Look at things from a different perspective while you have this break, right? This pause. You're at a temporary standstill. It's important to be yourself. So I just talked about the masks and the falsehoods that I was feeling, and maybe that's why the Hangman is showing up now and reminding us it's important to be ourselves. It's important to like live in truth and keep it real. And so you may want to consider other perspectives and maybe how you can come out in a situation, or how you view yourself. Maybe you need to look at yourself differently, how other people may be viewing you, and maybe getting an understanding as to why. It's because of your mask. Overall energy is yet another 3. Major Arcana card, the Empress, which represents the planet Venus, ruler of the sign of Libra, Taurus, and Gemini. Lavish abundance. Give birth to your dreams. I talked about rebirth and birth and fertility. Here it is. That's our overall energy. Nurture yourself and others. Crowning the masculine, the 10 of Fire. Too much work. Accept help from others. Life's out of balance. That causes stress-related health concerns. I'm feeling that this is primarily about the need for partnership and for other people to contribute. For, you know, all the weight can't be on one person. All the work can't be done by one person. Like, we need balance in that area. Surrounding the masculine. Major Arcana card, the Lovers. Card number 6. Told you. The Lovers represents the sign of Gemini as well. Intimate relationships. Carefully weigh your decisions. Good health. This could be the masculine together thinking about a relationship and the fact that it's imbalanced, and maybe whether or not he wants to continue it or wants to address the situation. The Lovers can be about heart or head, heart versus head decision. So it could be thinking, how much maybe he enjoys being with this person, and as it relates to the heart, connection to the heart. It doesn't have to be a romantic relationship either. But in terms of the head, but it's not, we're not in a fair situation, right? The Empress can be about balance and stuff too, because it represents the sign of Libra. Balance and fairness and equity is something that Venus represents. And it's like, we're not in a fair situation. I'm doing everything. When I picked this up, I didn't realize, but I was shown now, Major Arcana card 13, release or death, is immediately behind the Empress. The end of a phase or situation, which this indicates too, right? There's an end with this 10. So I definitely think that this is the masculine, in large part, deciding how the ending will go, or whether he will end it and how. The end of a phase or situation, spiritual transformation. It's time to move on. Some more of that moving. 8 of Cups, Chariot. Masculine subconscious. The 5 of Air. I knew it. I knew he was conflicted. I could feel it with this. I mean, the 10 of Air, the 10 of Fire, 10 of Wands can mean, a few different things. And I feel different things at different times. But I knew it was about, and the Lovers can mean different things. It could be like, oh, wow, the Lovers, that's awesome. Everybody wants to see it. But I just felt that it was more about a decision, about being conflicted. Perhaps about a relationship, but, conflicted nonetheless. An unwise choice. Learn what you can from this situation. Review everyone's motives. The 5 of Air is about conflict, and as opposed to the 5 of Wands, for me, can be conflict with just about anybody. Like the 5 of Wands for me is normally either the person themselves is conflicted, or there is conflict with close friends and or family members. With the 5 of Air, we can be ending up in drama or conflict with any and everyone. Or, particularly in this placement, it can be about us being conflicted, and in some respects, needlessly. Like the suit of Air, or Swords, is often about our own thoughts. So like, we're doing this to ourselves. You could be stressing yourself out by racking your brain, maybe trying to make this decision, overthinking it. Crowning the Feminine. It's also a 5. The 5 of Earth. Fears surrounding money, the wisdom to accept help from others, and uncertain self-employment. I actually talked about 5 in the original reading too, because I talked about 14, or 5 being a derivative of 14, and 14 being a number in addition to 19 that is associated with Osiris for me, because he was chopped into 14 pieces. But the 5 of Earth of Pentacles is about feeling void and lack. And like the 5 of Air, it's not necessarily a reality. I mean, this can just be in your head too. You feel lack, or you fear lack. So in that sense, you're in danger of manifesting it, because you're just thinking about it, even though it's not a reality for you in the moment. You could manifest it into your reality though, focusing upon the wrong things. Focusing upon, well, my last relationship didn't go well, or, I'm just constantly worried about how much money I have or don't have. Rather than thinking in that sense, like, I can always manifest what I need. Magician. Surrounding the Feminine. The 2 of Earth. This is another card of potentially balance and or the need to make a decision, like I said about these two. Too much going on at once. There's a need to make a decision. Consider a more playful approach. Two of Earth, where it does have to do with a decision, is usually a decision about the earthly, and so maybe it is a financial decision or decision concerning the material, maybe about how much work one should do, how many hours, what kind of job, or how many jobs, or your relationships are lacking because all you do is work. So how much time are you going to put into that? It can be those types of things. All of the earthly. Feminine subconscious. Major Arcana card 19, the Sun. Happy outcome. Brilliant new ideas that lead to success. If you have confidence in yourself. So just like I was just saying, if you can keep yourself at risk of manifesting negativity, if you believe in yourself, you have that too, you have that faith and trust that you can manifest whatever you need, then you'll have a happy outcome. If you don't, you'll have a lacky outcome, right? And a crappy outcome, because you will manifest the lack that you fear. Major Arcana card, the Sun, represents the sign of Sagittarius. Of course, as I mentioned earlier, Earth's star, the Sun, rules the sign of Leo. And also this week comes into play the spiritual sun, the star Sirius. Crowning. The 10 of Earth, a very happy family life, financial security, finding magic in the little things in life. That's a nice card to have crowning. At the foundation, like from where we came, maybe it'll explain where the fear is coming from. No, well, yes, no. Foundation is abundance that we're due, abundance that we've earned, and the fact that it's coming. Major Arcana card 20, so another 2. Again, the need for more faith and belief. Also, maybe involving partnership again. Renewal is actually judgment in the traditional tarot, represents the sign of Scorpio, the planet Pluto. Review and evaluate. A favorable assessment of the facts. It's time to move in a new direction. So more of this energy of movement. But as it relates to finances, when judgment shows up, it tends to mean money is flowing healthily, or will soon, if it's not already. You may be getting a promotion, a raise, a bonus, or something at work, a new job, or you're starting your own business, a new career altogether. As it relates to relationships, new commitments, deepening of commitments, abundance in those areas too. Also, though, as it relates to partnership, it can be, having come to some sort of crossroad and needing to decide, like, where do we go from here? Like I said, the masculine, I felt him going through. Where do we go from here, if anywhere? Right? Because in some cases, we're not going any further, and this is the end of it. It's also about not being overly judgmental of oneself or other people. This can be like a judgmental energy. I'm so, broke. I'm so terrible. I lack so much. I'm so afraid. And speaking those sort of negative words over yourself, or thoughts, thinking those sort of negative things over yourself is an act of being overly judgmental. At the heart of the matter, it's another 2. The High Priestess. Listen to your intuition. Have patience and consider carefully what you want before acting. So again, looks like the masculine definitely doing that, considering carefully what he wants before acting. Although it's killing him, like he's driving himself nuts in his head. Feminine, it's not so clear that she's necessarily figuring out what she wants before acting, but again, I definitely think she should, so she doesn't end up with this, so she can end up with this instead of this. We're going to further clarify these, though, with the Animal Tarot, beginning with the 8 of Autumn. It's the perfect time to learn all you can by returning to school, taking a seminar, or conducting research. Do your best work, and the law of attraction will bring you prosperity and career advancement. And opening to the 3 of Winter, another 3. Sadness is part of life, but you don't have to endure it alone. You may need a little time to heal, but once you work your way through the emotions, you'll be stronger than before. So opposite this Eight of Autumn, this can be like what I said with the dice, having tried something before, it didn't work out, and there's just a need to try again. You know, patience and a plan, like the Prince of Autumn would have. Right? He's super methodical and organized in that regard. Trustworthy, dedicated, protective, and funny. He's also a Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo. It's important to make a detailed plan before starting any new endeavor. Once you have that plan in place, then you can take immediate action and get as much accomplished as possible. So rather than sink into Three of Swords energy and sulk and, you know, wallow in your self-pity because you don't feel you were successful before, make a plan. This time, you know, do it the right way, right? Get organized, make a plan, and you'll definitely get the law of attraction to work for you and reap the benefits of your work. This can also be somebody maybe feeling that they're, you know, they're just working, and it's not paying off, too. And so they're sinking into, like, depressive energy, negative energy, too. Prince of Autumn. Yep, see, here it is again. The Five of Summer. This is like disappointment. Focus upon the fact that God loves you and always has the highest of intentions for you. A positive outlook, rather than one like this, makes it easier for you to recover from life's little difficulties so that you can move onward and upward. So it's about bouncing back. If something did happen, you know, did fail to go your way, it's about bouncing back quickly and turning things around in your favor. Prince of Autumn. To the Wheel, right? Major Arcana card 10, the Wheel. Expect a sudden positive change in your life. You can now move forward and make great progress. All this movement. On that note, I will cut. Okay, that one doesn't want to come up. Still no? Okay. And it's another 3. Major Arcana card, the World. Congratulations on successfully accomplishing what you set out to do. You've made it through the challenges and incorporated the lessons that life has offered you with grace and courage. Major Arcana card 21, the World, for me has a fire element energy. It just feels very fiery to me, although I have never attributed it to one sign or another, you know, of the element of fire. So it can be Leo energy, it can be Aries, it can be Sag. I don't know. In this case, maybe it is Sag, because again, the sun represents the sign of Sag. Or maybe it is Leo, because the actual sun rules the sign of Leo. Whatever it is the universe stepping in with this very fiery, passionate energy to ease you out of a situation that you've just been in far too long, a mindset that you've been in far too long, a circumstance, a living condition, a relationship, a job. It's just, you just like overstayed your welcome. I call it my waiting to exhale card, because, you know, we're in these situations and we know we need to go. Like, I know my relationship sucks, I know my marriage sucks, but I'm going to try to stick it out. And you just keep trying, and the years are passing you by, and you're never happy. Next thing you know, you look up and 10 years has passed and you've been in this very crappy marriage. Then finally, the universe helps to pull you out of it and say, okay, you gotta end this, right? But it's not like ripping the Band-Aid off. It's a slow exit, right? Things happen kind of slowly. Sometimes requiring patience, because maybe at that point we want out so badly. Like, now we're like, hurry up, universe, even though we weren't quick when we had the opportunity to do it. And so the universe, very gradually pulling us. And then we find ourselves in this place where, again, we can breathe. Like, now I can breathe a sigh of relief, because I'm finally, out of that. It was such a long time coming, but I'm finally out of whatever that situation was. And the overall energy is Major Arcana card 6, the Lovers. True and long-lasting love finds its way into your life. Follow your heart with caring actions and choices. Again, Major Arcana card 6, the Lovers, represents the sign of Gemini. In this deck, it's more about relationships and actual love than decisions. If you keep hearing that machine coming on and off, that's my air conditioner. It's on energy saver. I apologize. I meant to turn it off before I started this and I forgot. Atop the 10 of Wands, the masculine, the 2 of Winter. So this is just another confirmation of what I had said. The masculine's 10 of Wands is about his need to make a decision. Procrastination or worrying about what others will think is blocking you from making said decision. If you're torn between your own desires and someone else's, follow your inner guidance. So this can have to do with that mask, right? Now you're pretending to be someone or want something, be someone that you're not, or want something that you don't. And it's time to, to impress somebody else or to make somebody else feel good because it's what they want. And it's time to take that mask off and go for what you want and to make a decision in that regard. Atop the Lovers, it's another 10 of Wands. So now we got to hear. I just knew that they were connected. You're working far too hard and the stress will soon become too much. Reach out for help from others and take some time to play and to enjoy life. I just feel like there's a very heavy load on a masculine's shoulders, and he's just like doing everything. Whether it's in his actual job, he's doing all the work and other people are getting credit and he's not, and he needs to make a decision as to whether or not to leave, or in a relationship, that's imbalanced and he needs to make a decision whether or not to leave. Yeah, I just feel like he's rather than feeling burdensome upon somebody else, I feel that he is the one who is feeling burdened. Like he's carrying all these wands and wants to lay down that burden, but is struggling with the decision to do so because of how it's going to affect somebody else. That's about what he's conflicted. Atop that conflict, the 5 of Air is the 6 of Air. The challenging times are coming to an end. Yeah, you got these 2 10s here. So it is coming to an end. You can now breathe a sigh of relief. Like I just said about my waiting to exhale card, like when you can finally breathe easy. It's like that, let out that sigh. Yeah, you can finally breathe a sigh of relief. Let go of the past and embrace the happier times ahead. So maybe that fire element energy of the world with this other fire here is what is supporting the masculine through this situation with which he's dealing and improving it for him, right? Bringing this energy of 6, which 6s are about love and balance and equality and equity and justice, in that sense, very much connected to Venus, right, and Mother. Atop the feminine's 5 of Earth, 5 of Pentacles, is the Queen of Pentacles, or Autumn. Thoughtful, caring, creative, and ingenious. You'll be given advice that's both practical and creative, and it should be followed precisely. Focus only upon the positive in every situation or person. The Queen of Autumn is a Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. Could be connected to, again, the fact that at the end of this week, the day following the period for which this reading is, Uranus which is located in Taurus right now, will be going retrograde. Could be connected to that. Could be connected to this Venus energy that's already with us, abundance that she wants to gift us with. Could be connected to a mother energy. The Queen of Autumn or Pentacles, very much so about nurturing yourself, taking care of yourself, uplifting yourself, getting out of this energy of funk. Atop the Two of Earth and the need for balance and or to make a decision. It's connected to decision too. The Prince of Winter. Decisive, focused, driven, and impulsive. Get ready for progress to speed up. This situation requires you to choose logic and intellect over emotion and to make your decisions quickly. The Prince of Winter is a Gemini, like the Lovers cards that popped up here. Libra, other sign ruled by Venus, or an Aquarius, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. And actually, when the Prince of Winter or Knight of Swords shows up, it does tend to mean that you either have a decision to make or you're awaiting a decision. In some cases, the feminine perhaps awaiting the masculine's or a masculine's decision. Maybe in her regard or with regard to their relationship, their partnership, especially with all these twos. Because remember, there's a two under here also. So decision about two, decision about partnership. Feminine subconscious. Top major arcana card 19, the Sun. Very nice. The Four of Spring. It's time to kick back, relax, and to celebrate all that you have. Joy arises from success in your career, the completion of a project, or a very happy home life. So the Four of Wands, which is an 1111, a 13, a 20. We talked about those numbers. Sitting here atop major arcana card, the Sun is about the feminine feeling particularly happy and joyous, or things working out for her, maybe specific to her home, her family, commitment, relationships, something deepening, cohabitation. Maybe that could be about what the decision is. With all this card of all this energy of movement, all these cards talking about movement, with this masculine Six of Winter potentially being about movement or moving or travel, right? The Six of Winter can be metaphoric or literal in terms of movement forward, or both, into calmer, stiller waters. Often where it does involve travel, it's traveling across water, even if it's local, right? So maybe there's a decision involving that. Do we visit each other? Do we come see each other? Do we move back toward the relationship? Do we move away from it? Because remember, Judgment is sitting here too, in between these two subconscious positions. Crowning atop the 10 of Earth, 10 of Pentacles. It's the 7 of Spring. So another need for a decision. Now the 10 of Earth or Pentacles can have to do with actual money. Again, sometimes it's like a bonus, lump sum, an inheritance or something that comes through. And that may be the decision that we're awaiting, like who gets the car, who gets the house, who gets the... And that can be involved in a divorce, perhaps, or some other sort of estate issue. Maybe the feminine gets the house. Four of Spring can be associated with house. But the masculine, is put at ease too. His life improves also when this decision gets handed down, for example, if it's a legal decision, which again it can be, with the Empress sitting here, ruler of the sign of Libra, and Death sitting underneath that, which is representative of endings and also rebirth and birth, which I also talked about. Of course, the Empress, all about fertility and birth. Also up right behind that, the Six of Fire, victory, good news, it's on its way, public recognition or awards. Maybe that good news had been delayed, perhaps. Maybe because of not directly Gemini energy, but Mercury, maybe because of Mercury retrograde, perhaps. The page of air is about information that comes in, clarity. It could be the answer, the decision that you're awaiting. Logical, honest, impulsive, and curious. Challenging information. Sometimes it's difficult to deal with sometimes, or it's heavy, it's serious. Delays or changes to plans. It can also, Mercury retrograde affects travel. Maybe travel hadn't been able to happen before. Movement hadn't been able to happen, but now it can. Also, truth delivered without tact. So something coming out, perhaps. Maybe involving somebody with whom you were in some type of relationship before, or someone you know. The Knight of Water is emotional, romantic, enthusiastic, and contemplative. Falling in love or wedding proposals. The need to balance emotions and an invitation to a social event. Knight of Water or Cups is often somebody with whom we're familiar, making some sort of offer to us. And it may be an offer connected to our foundations. Move in with me. Right? Work for me. Work with me. Start a business with me. Release me. You're holding on to me too tightly. Let go of me. Release you. Let go of you. You're holding on to you too tightly. So our relationship isn't working. You have too big of a wall up, too big of a guard up. Being too frivolous or too cautious with money. Good business decisions and giving to those less fortunate. The next card is upside down, so I'll start with it. But the Seven of Spring is about not only making a decision, but once we do, we stick by it. We stand, we defend ourselves. We don't let other people get in our way and talk us out of our decision, what we feel is best for us. And we don't let other people dictate what's best for us in the first place. And we don't live by what other people want. We do what we want, what we feel is best for us, what we feel is right, and we stand our ground. Be assertive. Believe in yourself. I talked about belief in yourself, right? Not feeling lowly. Believe in yourself, and don't let anyone take away your personal power. Trust that your inner guidance is true and follow it completely. So that's with regard to your security, your happiness, your joy, with whom you surround yourself, whether or not you should remain in a family or, situation with somebody, partnership, all up to you. A top major arcana card, Judgment, is the 10 of Winter. So another 10, another mark of an ending, and another mark of not only an ending, but an ending of difficult times. So it sort of supplements the 6 of Winter next to which it sits and reconfirms it. The end of a career path, project, or relationship. And that can bring feelings of mixed joy and sadness. Maybe that's why the 3 of Winter was here also before. Relief and disappointment. Put aside your fears, right? The fears. Or the masculine's 5 here. Right? Put aside the fears about the changes and trust that a brighter future awaits. And 5s represent change. So that was like pretty, kind of literal. Put aside your fears about these changes, about the 5 of Winter energy, 5 of Swords energy, about the 5 of Pentacles energy. And trust that things are about to get better, because that's what everything else has shown. And that's what this time period dictates. Again, once you make it through the tough times, once you make it through the darkness, you can go through that portal toward the abundance, toward the greater ascension, toward the promotion, toward the raise, the universe raising you up, God raising you up. And then you'll see it down here also, because as above, so below, which comes from also the emerald tablets, which I mentioned. See how everything just keeps coming back together? Oh no, I forgot I mentioned that in the in the teaching video that I did prior to this. Yeah, I forgot for a moment that I was doing a whole separate new video. So a top the high priestess here at the heart of the matter, which tells us to, yeah, maybe don't act if you don't know what to do yet. You don't know what decision to make. Yeah, maybe you don't act. Think about it first. Figure it out first. Use your intuition first. What is your heart telling you? What is your head telling you? What is your intellect telling you? What is your wisdom telling you? What is information into which you've come, maybe via the Page of Swords, telling you? Put it all together and then figure out your next move. And maybe don't tell anybody what that next move is. Maybe just do it. Maybe just do it. And if you do tell somebody, don't let them talk you out of it. Stand your ground. So top that energy. Boom. The 10 of Summer. That's where your happiness is. Right? This is about you claiming your happiness. Again, you making it through the struggle, the darkness, and then you taking the reward for that. I succeeded. I made it through the struggle. You didn't do this for me. I did this. And so now I'm getting the reward. I'm getting the happiness that's at the end. It's time to express your love and appreciation for family, be it relatives or chosen family of close friends. Congratulations also may be in order on a happy, fulfilling marriage, as well as raising happy and balanced children, or whatever makes you happy. Once you decide what that is and what you want. So further to this, we'll take a look at the hashtag creepy deck and get some advice from there. Beginning again with communication. And opening to brunette female, which for me is a representation of the karmic feminine energy. Often a Cancer or a Leo or Cancer, Leo, Cuspian. It's funny, right before I did this video, I had an experience with a Leo, and I was thinking, like, I can't really say anything because, you know, to a degree, I'm a Leo myself. You know, I'm a Gemini sun, yeah, but I'm a Leo rising, so, you know, it is what it is. I got to be honest about the fact that that energy, that dark energy, is represented by that sign, whether I'm one too or not. And so I had this experience, whatever, and then in going on to you, I was uploading to YouTube, and so I saw in the feed this very large, it's a black female vlogger, YouTube vlogger, celebrity news and stuff, and she's been going at it for quite some time. I don't even watch like TV and videos and stuff, but even I know this. She's been going at it for some time with this other black female vlogger that's large, but, you know, smaller than her, and came up after her. And I stopped for a minute because I posted myself this week about how these larger entities, you know, think that they're like too big to fail or too big to get busted, and they can steal from you, from the smaller guy, to try to make themselves, you know, larger. And that happened to me recently this week. I was also another occasion I was on YouTube, and I was made to actually look at a video. And like, I so rarely watch anything on YouTube, and certainly tarot readers, other readers, I very rarely watch that. But this one just popped up, and I looked, and it was a Leo video. Look at this. It was a Leo video. I was like, okay, I'm a Leo rising. I'll check it out. And sure enough, she was doing this technique of layering, and I said, she's one of the people that my viewers have been telling me about, because I've been doing my readings this way for years. The appropriation is real out here, because at no time did she say, I watched the whole video, I sat there through it after that occurrence, and no time did she say, this is something I picked up, you know, watching Queen of Swords, or, you know, that I learned of, whatever connects. Everybody who has ever watched me knows that I've been doing this for years, and this is not the way other people were doing their readings. It's just not. It's just not. So it was a case of one of these larger entities, and I saw this other one, and I just thought, you know, it's really sad But then this is the time through which we're going. This is the period for that, for these Lilith types, these brunette females, this karmic feminine energy to, to strike. And we just got to defend ourselves. They're trying to block us from new love and from blessings, right? Drag us back. Love and dating, which is a very Two of Cups kind of card. So another 2 for us, or 11. Opposite the new love. Sounds very nice. It's like rebirth, again, in a relationship, or birth of a relationship. After difficulty, after darkness, after brunette female, in comes courting man. New love and karma, what it's all about. So on that note, I will cut. Oh, I didn't even explain the part about the Leo. The girl was in a picture. I guess it was her birthday, or she's celebrating her birthday, and the caption was like Leo season and whatnot. And I was like, look at this. Yeah, I should have known she was a Leo. That was my thought, because of the way she's been behaving toward the other women. In any case, I've come to soulmate. So more partnership. We got these 2 little spermazoa looking things that represent souls. And I'm thinking, having seen the karma card and that brunette female and new love opposite old love, I am thinking it's sort of like a karmic versus divine, union sort of thing. And that may be the decision in some cases. Do I get out of this karmic situation or relationship and go to, that to which my soul is tied in a more positive way? Or am I stuck here? Do I have to wallow in this? Okay, overall energy is dating queen, which is another 3. 1, 2, 3. And I think that this may have been the overall energy in the other reading too, actually. Hopefully you guys will get to see it. If I put it up, I may not restrict it to dates. I may just say like the reading the dark didn't want you to see, or something like that. But this is like a very 3 of fire card for me. So it can be about options, about suitors, various options coming in. It could be about a representative of a love triangle, or the potential for one. The energy for one, depending upon what decisions we make, what we decide to do, to give in to temptation or not. And more positively, it can be about looking forward to the future, making long-term plans, in our goals in terms of the manifestation, right? Because before this 4 of Wands is this 3, right? And before this 3 is the 2 we talked about, and before the 2 is the 1 we talked about in the idea. So first I'll do that, but I'm tempted also to put one here with the masculine's decision. Maybe to put one here with the feminine's worry, and for some balance. And maybe to put one here with the decision about some sort of abundance, possibly about family and security. All right. So, atop that masculine's struggle and the decision that he needs to make that he's not making because he's trying to please somebody else, His blonde female. I told you, I just felt it was divine union versus karmic union. And he is being guided toward a choice of the divine union where it has to do with, romantic relationships or partnership. I'd say even if it's another partnership, like you're guided toward the one that you feel is more, righteous. If this other partnership, even if it's a friendship or a familiar relationship, if it involves, you being fake or phony, or the other party being fake or phony, and you can't be yourselves, or about being slick and low down and dirty, don't part yourself from that, and go toward the one that you feel is more righteous, where it's not a romantic situation, but where it is, it's divine feminine, toward which the masculine is being guided there. For the feminine, the lack that she was feeling and the abundance that it looks like into which she will come instead, and or a situation of nurturing and or possibly her mother, is courting man. So again, I think, like I started to say before, that this was like lack, feeling of lack, and maybe in relationships and things, and you continue to manifest those negative attributes in a person. You continue to draw in the same type of ratchet man, good for nothing man or woman, whatever, feminine, masculine energy, when we remain in that cycle of of that kind of negative energy. That's the way the law of attraction works. So that's what we draw to us. So it is about changing your aspect and your feelings about yourself, and getting out of that funk about how you feel about yourself, so that you can attract better towards you, whether it's a relationship or it's something having to do, again, with family or household or job or commitment. That's how we manifest. Atop the 10 of earth, right? And the 7 of spring, so the decision that we had to make. Gifts. So the first thing that came was spiritual, not literal gifts. And again, the decision whether or not to prepare and to go like sort of through this gateway, this portal, like Lion's Gate portal, or not, to seek this higher ascension and these increased gifts and awareness and consciousness, or not. And that is something that's up to each and every one of us. But let's pull another one for that too, because it's not going to be that for everybody. So this is the next upright card, soulmate. So a decision in that regard. What do you want your sort of family dynamic to be, or of whom do you want it to be made up? This may be spiritual, maybe still coming into play, soulmate, or otherwise. And that can go for either side too. And then further advice from the hashtag creepy deck to the masculine. Boom. They couldn't hit him over the head any harder with this week. For the feminine, our further advice, spiritual growth. Yeah. So again, it's a decision, conscious decision. You want to heal yourself? You want to get out of this and prepare for this, or you don't, or nah. It's up to you. There are ways to do it. Healing your energy, cleansing yourself, preparing yourself. Or don't, For the masculine, more of this energy of commitment and partnering is Major Arcana card 5, Unity, which is the Hierophant in the traditional tarot. Embrace this time of deep spiritual growth. You may feel called to act as a mentor, to find a new teacher, or to spend time with others who are also on a spiritual path. This can have to do where it's not involving commitment, with that last line about the spiritual energy, other people that are gifted like you, other people that are anointed, that are blessed, that are particularly divine. surrounding yourself with them, getting away from these other people with whom you don't jive, with whom there's imbalance, separating from those people, changing your environment, moving into a healthier space for yourself, and instead surrounding yourself with people, places, and or things that better resonate with your vibration, of a similar vibration to your own or higher than yours, from whom or where you can learn something. That's what the Hierophant is about for me. And the Hierophant represents the sign of Taurus. So we talked about Uranus and Taurus and that retrograde, which begins immediately the day after the last day for which this reading is. So next Sunday, the first day for our next reading. And Taurus, again, ruled by Venus, the Empress, our overall energy. For the feminine, from the Animal Tarot, boom, Two of Spring. So either more faith or partnership, or both, spiritual partnership. Your vision, creativity, and dedication to your cause have brought you great success. In fact, it may be in your best interest to get a partner to assist you in your endeavors, or to expand the number of people who are helping you. The Two of Spring, again, is the divine union or twin flame card of the tarot. From the Angel Tarot to the masculine, the feminine has a Queen of Earth here. Masculine has his own now. Maybe more of this, again, Taurian energy. More Venus. The Queen of Earth is thoughtful, creative, warm, and sensible. Make time for those around you. So if he's working too hard and not making time for a relationship, or vice versa, somebody's doing that to him, make time for those around you. Or if, again, he wants to decide to spend his time around people who better align with him, he should be doing that. That's the guidance. Deal with challenges, right, in a kind and understanding manner. Just navigate right through those. The Queen of Earth, again, is a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. Most likely a Taurus in this particular reading. And that's funny because last week I was stuck on Taurus too. And I kept saying, I feel this is more likely than not, it's a Taurus, that this Queen of Earth is involving. Because the Queen of Earth showed up in every reading that I did last week for the masculine. And here she is again. Lastly, for the feminine, we got our own Two of Air. The masculine has his here. Now we've got one. Being unable or unwilling to make a decision. Right, sitting there stuck. A stalemate. Pretending there's no problem. So it's an energy of inaction. And we've already seen what will happen if we decide to take action. I just said, you want to choose it or no? That's up to you. But I'll also take the next upright card for the feminine to sort of better clarify the Two of Air and to what, for the most part, it may be connected. Although, again, all these 2s or 11s are about partnership, whether romantic or not. Eight of Earth. You've got to decide. Well, you want to put effort in. You want to reap benefits of work, of hard work. You have to do the work. You got to plant the seeds. Reaping what you sow. You want to manifest. The Eight of Earth is about manifestation. Bringing the right things into your life. You have the ability to do that. Skilled work is rewarded. So if you put in the positive energy, you'll be rewarded with the positive energy. Also, this is about learning all you can about a new topic and or going back to school, which can be the school of experience, school of hard knocks, just life in general. We don't have to literally be going back to school. But again, that's a choice that's up to you here. It's a conscious decision. And maybe involving relationship or some sort of offer of love. Yes or no. Which I think we saw here. So this is a reconfirmation of that. The Page of Water is intuitive, sensitive, artistic, and friendly. A new person enters your life. A relationship begins a new phase. And also their heightened psychic abilities, gifts, if we so choose to accept them. Page of Water is a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. I thank you guys for joining me, for liking, sharing, and subscribing to my videos. I do plan to do something on 8/8 live if I can, probably 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'd love to do it at 8, but I have a meeting that day and I don't think I'll be able to. What I'd like to do is to write a new prayer over divine unions, similar to the cord cutting prayer and the generational curse cutting prayer that I've already written and posted on YouTube. If you have not seen those, do check them out. That's free energy healing, that I've made available that may help you to navigate some of this dark this week. Namaste.